Celtic's CEO has finally broken his silence after months of saying nothing, and the reaction has not been kind. We've also got O'Neill raising concern about the transfer situation as pre-season continues. Roma now entering the race for Arne Engles, a Celtic striker making a brilliant promise to the fans, and Jamie Vardy telling a hilarious story about a Celtic cult hero from his Leicester days. Let's get into it. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Callum Osmond knows that one goal has already changed the way Celtic supporters see him. The challenge now is making sure it does not become the only thing he is remembered for. The 20-year-old striker is entering the new season with a point to prove after a stop-start debut year in and around the first team. He showed real promise early on, scoring in the League Cup semi-final win over Rangers at Hampden back in November, before a knee injury picked up against FC Midtjylland in the Europa League ended his involvement for 6 months. When he came back, the timing could not have been written better. On the final day of the season at Tynecastle, Osmond came off the bench and wrapped up Celtic's title-winning victory over Hearts by tapping into an empty net after their goalkeeper had charged forward for a late free kick, a goal that barely touched the net, a moment that will live in Celtic Park folklore forever. He told the Herald the moment follows him everywhere he goes. He said people send him the clip almost every day, and that when he was on holiday in Cyprus, he spotted a group of lads doing his celebration down the road. He added, "It feels like I've been playing football for years." But no, it has changed. Everything's changed in a good way. But Osmond is determined not to be a moments player. He wants to do it week in, week out, and give supporters what they want from him every time he plays. He has started both of Celtic's pre-season friendlies against Shelbourne and Sporting CP so far. O'Neill is clearly not treating him as a fringe option. With Dyson Maeda linked with a Premier League move and Kelechi Iheanacho's future still unresolved, the door is wide open for Osmond to push for a genuine first-team role this season. Now for the main story, as Celtic CEO Michael Nicholson has finally broken cover after months of near-total silence, meeting with the Association of Irish Celtic Supporters Clubs to address concerns that have been building throughout the summer. It has not gone down well. Nicholson, who is rarely seen or heard from publicly, was part of a club trio who took questions from supporter representatives. The minutes of that meeting have now been published, and the content has frustrated rather than reassured the Celtic support. On the lack of transfer activity, Nicholson pointed to the difficulty of dealing with agents, competition from the Premier League and the Championship, and indicated that the easiest signings to complete are players who are out of contract. He said the club were working on those immediately. The response to that position has been sharp. Celtic have made only one signing this summer, Camilo Duran. By a distance, they are the least active side for incoming transfers across the entire Scottish Premiership. Hearts, last season's runners-up, have brought in 7 new players and are closing in on more. Rangers have added as many as 6. The Iheanacho situation has been used as the sharpest example of the contradiction in Nicholson's argument. Celtic allowed the striker's contract option to expire despite no complicated club-to-club negotiations being required. The player reportedly wanted to stay. O'Neill reportedly wanted to keep him, and yet no deal was done. Nicholson also addressed the club's tendency towards silence in the media, suggesting the press paint the club in a bad light regardless of the circumstances. That explanation landed poorly. Supporters have been demanding answers all summer. In the absence of any communication from the club, speculation has filled the void. Celtic's CEO finally spoke. For many supporters, he might have been better staying quiet. In other news, Martin O'Neill has returned from Celtic's pre-season trip to Portugal and has highlighted a clear area of concern as the new campaign approaches. Celtic suffered a 4-1 defeat to Sporting CP in the Algarve in their latest pre-season fixture. The result was not the priority at this stage of preparation, and O'Neill was relaxed about it publicly. He said that if that had been the AC Milan match in a few weeks, there would be cause for concern, but this stage of pre-season is different. The one real bright spot from the Portugal trip was Camilo Duran, Celtic's only summer signing so far. The Colombian came off the bench and scored just 5 minutes into his debut despite having missed a training session through illness. He worked on the grass on the morning of the game, earned his chance and delivered immediately, but the broader picture around the squad remains the concern. Duran is still the only new face at the club. Middlesbrough come to Celtic Park on Saturday for the next pre-season fixture, with AC Milan following a week later. That match against Milan will be the most serious test of where this squad currently stands. With the Premiership opener now 2 weeks away, the window is running. O'Neill has been clear about what he needs. The board have been clear they intend to back him. The two things have not connected yet, and patience among the Celtic support is wearing thin. In other news, Arne Engles has now emerged as a transfer priority for Roma, adding a significant new name to the list of clubs tracking the Celtic midfielder ahead of a potentially crucial few weeks. Italian publication La Gazzetta dello Sport has reported that Roma have placed Engles on their midfield shortlist as they prepare for the potential departure of Manu Kone. Manchester United are said to be leading the chase for the France international, with Chelsea also interested. Roma could reportedly seek around €55 million for Kone, and a sale of that size would free up budget to bring in a replacement. Engles is named alongside Botafogo midfielder Danilo Santos as one of Roma's leading options for that position. The Italian report describes him as a dynamic player with strong vision and an ability to make late runs into attacking areas. A transfer fee of between 20 and €25 million is mentioned, though that figure has not come from Celtic and should not be taken as the club's valuation. Celtic rejected multiple bids from Nottingham Forest during the January window, with the largest reported package worth up to £25 million. O'Neill later acknowledged publicly that he would not be surprised to see more interest in the summer. Roma's interest is at an early stage. No formal approach has been made, no offer has been submitted, and no personal terms have been discussed. Any move also depends on Kone leaving first. But with AC Milan having also been linked earlier in the summer, Engles is now on the radar of some of the biggest clubs in European football. Lastly, Jamie Vardy has shared a brilliant story about Celtic cult hero Kelechi Iheanacho going back to their time together at Leicester City, and it is exactly the kind of dressing room tale that tells you a lot about someone's character. Vardy, speaking on his own podcast, recalled how Iheanacho and fellow Nigerian Wilfred Ndidi used to return from trips home carrying a tub of cream, which was then used to treat minor knocks and injuries. The pair apparently told their teammates it had come from a Nigerian witch doctor and insisted it was the only thing the masseur was allowed to apply to the affected area. Vardy described the cream as a nice big tub of juju cream. Ndidi has since offered a rather simpler explanation, suggesting the substance was actually shea butter rather than anything supernatural. That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Hail, hail.